Hello, my name's Mara Gerke, and I've been involved and interested in natural health since I was diagnosed with RSD, CRPS, a complex regional pain syndrome that's had doctors perplexed as to what causes it, so it's mostly managed by its many symptoms. I don't know how many of you know people like me who've been diagnosed with a condition and the doctors don't know what causes it, or people who aren't feeling well and the doctors don't know what's wrong. Well, I've definitely been one of those people, and it's very frustrating. In 1994, when I was diagnosed with RSD, I was fortunate enough to be going to an osteopathic doctor. An osteopathic doctor is trained in medicine as well as nutrition and manipulative therapies. He advised me back then that I had a lifelong condition, the RSD, and I was going to have to make lifestyle changes. He recommends supplements, massage, chiropractic care, and definitely physical therapy. Well, getting my diagnosis and learning about it so I could participate in my treatment, making dietary changes, and taking supplements is what led me to begin my journey toward wellness and my interest in natural health. In 2005, I was doing much better than most people with my condition. However, I was nowhere near where I needed to be. I was still in quite a bit of pain, and my husband was having to help me get dressed on occasion due to the rigidity of my left leg from the piriformis muscle tightening up. In 2005, I met a couple named Kent and Barb, and they introduced me to the Chi Machine. They're very knowledgeable in natural health and shared some of that knowledge with me. I don't think I've ever met a more doubting Thomas than myself, because the doctors weren't able to help me, and no one was able to help me in 11 years, improve my mobility and decrease my pain. So I said, I don't know how the Chi Machine's going to do that. Well, 6 weeks later, I was singing a different tune, and that changed my life. I went back to school, and I'm now a natural health consultant, a CNHP herbalist, and soon to be certified aromatherapist. And I share what I've learned, my journey over the past 20 some odd years, my education on natural health, and the Soki products with other people. So I hope that you take the time to learn about the Chi Machine, the Hot House, the ERE, and the E-Power, their benefits, and how they may help you on your journey toward natural health, because it's your health and it's your life. Thanks.
The Chi Machine increases your oxygen, energy, and circulation in 5 minutes. It's listed as a Class 1 device with the FDA regulated as a therapeutic massager. Health Canada has approved it as a Class 2 medical device to help increase circulation, reduce leg fluids and extracellular fluid, provides a full body massage, temporarily relieves minor muscle aches and pains. The original Sun Yankan Chi Machine is motion energy of the Soki concept. It was invented by Dr. Inoue, who's the head of oxygenation in Japan. He believed that oxygen was indispensable to health, beauty, and clearing the mind. According to what now has become legend in the industry, Dr. Inoue observed a goldfish swimming freely, yet not even moving forward, a relaxed form of oxygenation. Technically, fish oxygenation occurs by combining rhythmic muscle contractions with stimulation of the autonomic nerves in the spinal column. This oxygenation method also applies to man as well as four-legged animals. Upon further study, Dr. Inoue found that a particular rate of oscillation, as well as a well-defined range of motion, must be obtained for optimal oxygenation of the human body. Dr. Inoue, 38 years of research on oxygenation, along with engineers, developed the Chi Machine, which is an easy-to-carry device that duplicates a gentle figure-8 fish-like motion, providing us with a gentle massage and oxygenation. His research and theories were so extensive that Japan granted Dr. Inoue a medical patent. Dr. Inoue published his work in a book called Aerobic Respiration, Exercise, and Health, and Dr. Inoue believed that under the condition of oxygen deficiency, a person can experience pain, inflammation, swelling, tumors, ulcers, and even a cloudy mind, and in serious cases the heart might even stop beating. Dr. Inouye felt that oxygen was indispensable to the existence of all creatures, and it was especially important for the cells which make up our brain. A deficiency of oxygen can lead to damage of the cerebral nerves, and our bodies are unable to store oxygen, so maintaining an uninterrupted and efficient respiration source is crucial in maintaining health. We can go 7 days without eating, a couple days without water, and still survive. A couple minutes without oxygen, and we are in critical, maybe not repairable shape. So the Chi Machine is a great form of aerobic respiration exercise that you can use a couple minutes every day in your own home, and you can use it based on your overall physical strength without overworking your body. So it's especially beneficial if for some reason you can't exercise or your exercise is limited. You're able to still perform aerobic respiration with the Chi. The original Sun Ancon Chi Machine was designed to be used lying down in a very relaxed posture. Your spine's at a fixed point, and it oscillates back and forth in a 12-degree range, approximately 144 times per minute, to produce that figure 8 motion. Similar to a goldfish swimming, it's one of the best aerobic exercises available on the market today, combining walking and swimming. And 15 minutes of using the Chi Machine equals approximately 10,000 steps as far as aerobic exercise and oxygenation. Benefits of using the passive aerobic exercise is it promotes oxygenation, circulation, energizes the body. It may help with certain misalignments of the spine. It supports the immune system because it stimulates globulin production. It supports blood production because it stimulates the sympathetic nervous system in our spine, which increases spinal marrow blood production. It may balance the autonomic nervous system. When you balance the autonomic nervous system, it may help with situations such as insomnia, digestive problems, constipation, aches and pains, daydreaming, anxiety, stress. It also helps exercise the internal organs because it aids in unblocking the pathways of Qi in the body, which allows energy to flow, which can promote healing. And it helps with fluid and water retention and can assist in weight loss. Chi Machine and oxygenation. I bet you're all wondering, how does the Chi Machine help oxygenate the body? Well, the figure 8 movement of the Chi Machine relaxes you, which opens up your bronchioles, allowing maximum oxygen access to your lungs. This oxygen is simultaneously transferred to the blood because the blood flow, or our circulation to and from the lungs, is increased. A study was done using a Nellcor pulse oximeter using 29 volunteers, all appearing to be healthy, ranging in age from 21 to 68. All participants were tested prior to using the Chi Machine and then again 5 minutes after using the Chi Machine, and the results were astounding. 76% of the people showed an increase in oxygen of 1 to 7%. Oxygen's huge. Oxygen starvation at the cellular level can cause anxiety, dizziness, problems with our immune system, our digestive system, problems with how we sleep, problems with our circulatory system, headaches, inflammation, stress, and depression. So this is huge that the Chi Machine in 5 minutes increased oxygen on 76% of the users. It also helps increase the energy of the body. Dr. Morris, a chiropractor who uses the Chi Machine, and Kirlian photography came out. Kirlian photography is a form of photography that captures the energy fields of the body. So you can see before, after 10, 15, and 20 minutes of using the Chi Machine, how the energy of the body becomes clearer, encompasses different colors, and we end with almost a full spectrum of the colors of the rainbow, very bright chakras or energy centers in the body, and a really nice balanced energy field. So it really helps improving the energy of the body. It also helps, since your body's relaxed and there's no weight on your spine, that figure 8 movement can help influence a correction on certain misalignments of spine. Research from Flinders University conducted on 22 edema patients clearly shows in figure 1 how it reduced leg fluid and extracellular fluid associated with the whole body. You can see initially participants were at 5,500, decreasing to 5,450, 5,300, 5,250, and even at the month follow-up, after not using the Chi machine, they were down to 5,250. What's really interesting on this study is not only did it reduce leg fluids and extracellular whole body fluid, but it also helped reduce the symptoms associated with that, such as pain, tightness, heaviness, and their skin wasn't as dry. So Dr. Pillar, who conducted the research, said that the results were particularly important for patients who, due to weight or severely swollen legs, could not undertake more active forms of exercise. Plus, the passive aerobic exercise of the Sun Ancon Chi machine was something the patient could use at home, giving them an element of self-management over their condition. So like anything good, we have copycats. So the Sun Ancon Chi machine invented by Dr. Inoue is patented in 26 countries, and the patent includes the motor, the speed or oscillation back and forth, and the height of the machine. No other company can infringe on that patent, so they don't have the same speed or oscillation, and they don't have the same height. So my guess is they can have the figure 8 movement. And without the figure 8 movement, we can't create the oxygenation and improvement in the circulatory system. So when it came time for me to make a decision on what Chi machine I was going to purchase back in 2005, I decided to purchase the original Sun Ancon Chi machine. I felt if Health Canada could approve it as a medical device and the company took the time to have it listed with the FDA as a therapeutic massager, it would be safe for me to use. I've sold many Sun Ancon original Chi machines to customers who have purchased copycat Chi machines, and they say that the movement of the Sun Ancon Chi machine is much smoother and not as rough. So I hope that this helped you understand the many benefits of oxygenation, circulation, and the Chi machine, and why the original Sun Ancon Chi machine is the original Chi machine and does what it does. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about what to expect when you get the Chi machine and how to properly use the Chi machine. So of course when you get the Chi machine, it's going to come to you in a box, and in the box will be the Chi machine and a footrest cover that fits over the cradle. And you'll notice that the Chi machine has 2 cords. One cord's to plug it into the wall, and the other cord is the timer. And you'll notice that the timer's in 2-minute increments, and that there's a star or an asterisk at 6 minutes. The asterisk's there because if you want to use the Chi machine for 2 or 4 minutes, you need to turn the dial past the asterisk or star and then set it back to 2 or 4 minutes. So that's how the timer works. Also, the Chi machine comes with a carrying handle, and it also comes with a side that has an arrow. And you want to make sure that the arrow's facing you when you use the Chi machine, because you're going to center your body and position your body based on that arrow. So Sam's going to come over and help me show you how to use the Chi machine. So come on in, Sam. So when you're ready to use the Chi machine, you're going to sit down and position the Chi machine and make sure it's straight. And then sitting there, you're going to put a foot on each side of the Chi machine. And you want to make sure that the bottom of your foot is even with or a little bit past the base of the Chi machine. And then you want to position your body and center it with the arrow. And once you're positioned and centered, you want to lie down, get comfy, and then you want to put your feet on the cradle. Lining yourself this way puts your feet resting on the cradle just at the base of your calf with your ankle bone completely through the cradle. So then you want to make sure that you're hydrated, and you're going to start out slow. I always tell everybody to start out at 2, 4, or 6 minutes based on your physical level of health. And the first thing you want to ask yourself is if you feel both your hips and both your shoulders moving. If you feel both your hips and both your shoulders moving, you're properly aligned. If you only feel movement on your left side, you may want to recenter your body or adjust the base of the Chi machine. You'll also notice that the Chi machine moves you in a figure 8 motion, so you'll be feeling movement from your ankles to your hips to your shoulder, and then your neck and your head. It's this figure 8 movement that relaxes your nervous system, allowing your bronchioles to open up, taking in oxygen, and maximizing your circulation. There's also 3 arm positions that you can do while using the Chi machine, and the current position that Sam's in with your arms by your side is referred to as the goldfish position. And this position is really good if you have a sore back and to align the body. There's also the mid position where your hands go behind your neck, and you don't want to clasp your hands. You just want your fingertips to meet. And this position is really good for balancing your mood and helping you with the release of stress or tension throughout the body. And then there's the stretched back position with your arms outstretched over your head. And this is really good for weight loss, shoulder tendinitis, further helping your body release stress and tension, and for full round breaths. So when I use the Chi machine, I start out in the goldfish position, and then I move my hands throughout the mid and stretch back position, ending in the goldfish position. So when the machine stops, you'll notice a tingling feeling. Some people will notice a tingling feeling to their knees or their hips, some even to their fingertips based on their circulation. That's referred to as the Chi rush. So you want to lay here and enjoy the Chi rush and the relaxation and internal massage of the organs. And it's really good to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth 5 or 6 times, a deep breath, and notice how that tingling feeling travels through the body. Also, when you use the Chi machine, if you have a sore lower back or knees, you may want to take a pillow and fold it in half or get a knee bolster to support your knees, and that would limit some of the movement in your lower back as you start out on the Chi machine. You also want to make sure that you stretch. So it's really good to just place your knees on the floor and pull your knees to your chest, and then stretch them from side to side with your arms outstretched. And then it's good to roll over to one side and then to sit up properly. There are other ways that you can use the Chi machine if you can't lie down. And one way is to work the lower half of your body by placing the Chi machine on the floor, centering your body with the arrow. And once you place your feet on top of the cradle, this will work your body from your ankles to your hips. And you can do that for a few minutes, enjoying the Chi exercise in the lower half of your body. When that's through, you can take the Chi machine and place it on a firm surface like a table. Sam's going to demonstrate. And then you can put your arms in it, working the upper half of your body from your waist to your shoulders and your arms. So there's lots of ways to use the Chi machine. And you always want to make sure when the Chi machine is through and you've got enough to drink some water, because it is like a therapeutic massage, and it's always good to stay hydrated for detoxification. So I really appreciate Sam helping us out in this demo. And I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to learn how to properly use the Chi machine, because I know you're really excited to get it and really excited to begin. Thanks.
The hot house improves circulation, expands capillaries, helps our cells regenerate, and relieves pain. It's listed as a Class 1 device with the FDA as a topical heating unit. Health Canada has approved it as a Class 2 medical device that gently elevates our body temperature, helps our capillaries to expand, stimulates blood circulation, relieves fatigue and pain symptoms, and is a perfect adjunct for massage and manipulative therapies. The hothouse far infrared therapy is the thermal energy portion of the SOKI concept. What are far infrared rays? Well, far infrared rays are part of the natural sunlight having the longest wavelength. The infrared segment is a narrow band of energy within the 0.75 to 1000 micron level. Far infrared rays are invisible to the human eye, and they're perceived by the body as heat. They're non-harmful and completely safe. As you can see in the diagram on the left, the electromagnetic wave comprises from cosmic rays to electrical waves. The far infrared rays are the beginning of the invisible ray segment of the electromagnetic wave, and they're a very small segment. Within the far infrared ray, you have near, mid, and far infrared bands, and it's the far infrared segment of that band that's most beneficial to the body. How do our body and far infrared interact? Well, all living things are made up of cells, and all cells vibrate, and our cells are no different. We have water inside and outside of them, and it's that water that makes up our cell's metabolism. The wavelengths of far infrared light vibrate at the same intrinsic frequency as our cells. This match in vibration between far infrared rays and our cells creates what is known as resonance absorption. The phenomenon of resonance absorption is what heats up our cells and our body temperature, and is why we perceive these rays as heat. So far infrared energy improves overall cellular performance, perking up our metabolism, helps to keep the healing process constant because our cells are always repairing themselves. Far infrared rays help improve our health from the inside out. Just as 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom create and combine to give us water, far infrared interacts with the water in our cells, enhancing our metabolism and improving our circulation. Far infrared rays reach into our cell, creating a water molecule resonance. This produces an atomic molecular resonance. An energy conversion through absorption occurs. So energy conversion through absorption occurs, entering the subcutaneous cell layer, elevating our temperature, dilating our capillaries, and helping our blood get rid of toxins. Far infrared is important because it has a very deep penetrating power. It penetrates through our skin into our subcutaneous tissues, improving blood circulation, promoting overall metabolism, helping our body get rid of toxins and metabolic byproducts, and improving cellular vitality. When far infrared rays penetrate our skin, it transforms from light energy into heat energy. And it's this thermal effect within the deep layers of the tissues that causes our blood vessels and capillaries to dilate, promoting better blood circulation. What's wonderful about far infrared rays is our cells only absorb the fur that match our own frequency. So if the far infrared rays or the light energy waves aren't the same as our cells, they just pass harmlessly through our tissue. It's been found within the segment of far infrared rays that the 8 to 14 micron is the most beneficial to the human body due to the fact that the human body radiates the similar heat spectrum. So benefits of far infrared include improving blood circulation, expanding capillaries, activating our cells. It assists in cancer therapy. It assists in the detoxification through sweating and normal channels. It promotes oxygen to the cells. And it helps with weight loss by increasing our metabolism and the process of our organs and glands. Dr. Tate, a dentist who's used the hothouse in his practice, says that a 1 degree core temperature increase burns 980 calories per hour. Far infrared also helps with fatigue, adjusts the nervous system, improves muscle stiffness, and eliminates harmful heavy metals. It also speeds up the healing of strains and sprains by stimulating vasodilation, bringing oxygen to the joints relieving pain and reducing the time it takes to recover from an injury. That is huge. There's a lot of research done on far infrared ray therapy. Far infrared ray therapy has been used overseas and in Japan extensively. So as far as detoxification goes, we need to worry about that because every day we're exposed to many toxins, including heavy toxic metals and minerals, such as cadmium, mercury, aluminum, and these need to be eliminated as soon as possible. And far infrared rays are one of the most natural and safest ways to do that. They actually tested the sweat of an individual who used far infrared rays and an individual who didn't. And the person using far infrared rays, their sweat actually contained more toxins, specifically heavy toxic metals and minerals. When far infrared rays are applied to the water molecules containing toxins in our cells, the water begins to vibrate at higher, faster frequency, releasing these gases and toxins back into our bloodstream, where they're removed naturally by the body's normal detoxification process. And one of the ways the body detoxifies is sweating. Dr. Tate also agreed that far infrared rays were wonderful to detoxify an environmentally ill person because it brings about significant heavy metal detox. Research has also been done on cancer therapy and hypothermia. Findings suggest that whole body far infrared treatment at ambient temperature could be a possible way of a hyperthermic therapy for tumors. Duke University is doing research pioneering a new field called hypothermia. Scientists have known for centuries that heat has healing powers, and Duke University is working on figuring out how to harness that heat and direct it right into tumors. Dr. Lipton says since far infrared rays raise our body temperature, which is also known as hypothermia, it can promote the killing of many pathogenic or disease-causing bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. It also modulates the immune system by increasing the production of cytokines, which are special immune cells that play a very important role in disease control. And it coordinates the immune response against mutated cells. Hippocrates once said, "Give me a fever and I can cure any disease." Well, Dr. Issel, a foremost pioneer in cancer treatment, stated that an artificially induced fever has the greatest potential in the treatment of many diseases, including cancer. Research was also done on pain relief, and according to several studies, if you use far infrared rays over a painful area for 20 minutes every day for 3 days in a row, your pain should significantly reduce. And Dr. Lipton used far infrared rays to help his patients that were athletes recover faster from athletic trauma. In the book, The Scientific Basis and Therapeutic Benefits of Far Infrared, they discuss the positive effects far infrared rays have on stress, stomach problems, hemorrhoids, numbness in the face, pain relief, lower back and knee pain, shingles, rheumatism, hypotension, diabetes, the treatment of cancer, radiation, induced tissue damage, breast and abdominal tumors, recovery from surgery, ulcers, burns, asthma, ear, nose, and throat disorders, its use in dental, and baldness. Lots of benefits. I also found studies and articles on how it helps with wound healing. Dr. Cabrales in Mexico uses far infrared therapy with his diabetic wound patients, but a study I found in PubMed said that far infrared rays were used on a group of rats that had wounds and a group of rats that had wounds that didn't use far infrared. And the group of rats and their wounds healed more thoroughly and rapidly using far infrared rays. And below are pictures I took from an article showing the wound healing on human skin. Research has also been done on nitrous oxide, and it was discovered in 1998. A Nobel Prize was given. that nitric oxide is a gas, and the body uses this gas to relax and widen blood vessels. It's also beneficial for atherosclerosis, which is a thickening of artery walls due to fatty deposits. Nitric oxide is like a roto-rooter for our arteries. It also helps with cancer because our white cells use nitric oxide to defend against tumors. Scientists are currently studying whether they can harness the substance's anti-cancer ability. What's really neat and why I mention this is because far infrared ray, since it improves circulation and expands our capillaries, also helps the body improve its nitric oxide production. So, what makes our hothouse dome better than somebody else's hothouse dome or other far infrared products on the market? Well, our far infrared hothouse dome is set at the 8 to 10 micron wavelength, which is found to be most beneficial for the human body. It also is manufactured under Japan technology patent using a silicon crystal, multifaceted and multi-angled surface with a 160-degree span, as you can see in this picture. Far infrared rays are a straight ray of light, so using the 160-degree span and the silicon crystal lining allows the far infrared rays to be amplified so they can penetrate the body several inches deep. It also allows for the gentle elevation of the body's subcutaneous tissue to approximately 104 degrees. It's very affordable and easy to use in our home. I get a lot of questions on infrared saunas and far infrared products and far infrared products using carbon metallic. So I found an article on drmercola.com, and he explained infrared saunas this way. The difference between an infrared sauna and the traditional Finnish style sauna is that the latter heats you up from the outside in like an oven. The infrared sauna heats you from the inside out. The traditional wet sauna typically uses a small stove with radiant heat elements, i.e. resistive elements that heat up when current flows through them. These elements heat up the rocks piled on top. The temperature is regulated by a thermostat, and initially the sauna will feel warm and dry, but once you toss water on the rocks, hot steam is generated, which helps open your pores and induce sweating. This type of steam bath is great for detoxifying water-based organs. So if you have lung, kidney, or bladder problems, a steam bath, especially with some essential oils, will be very beneficial. Infrared saunas, however, significantly expedite the detoxification process. Infrared saunas heat your tissue several inches deep, which can enhance your natural metabolic process. It also enhances circulation and helps oxygenate your tissues. Furthermore, viruses and toxic-laden cells are weaker than normal cells and tolerate heat poorly, so raising your body temperature helps heal infections quicker. So infrared saunas have infrared that emit infrared heat. The hothouse specifically emits far infrared rays. Both of them are going to be beneficial. Both of them are going to expedite detoxification. When it came to me making my decision on what product I wanted to go with, I wanted to go with the product that emitted the far infrared rays because that is the segment of rays that the research has been done on, especially in Japan. So I chose the far infrared hothouse. Our hothouse comes in two sizes, grande or regular, and it's just personal preference, how big you are or how claustrophobic you are. We also have hothouse insulation curtains available, which I highly recommend. As your body's emitting far infrared rays and far infrared rays are being emitted by the dome, you're creating lots of heat through that resonance absorption process, and these curtains attached to the sides of the hothouse with magnets holding all that heat in, promoting you to perspire. We also offer other far infrared products, a far infrared back support belt, which has special fabric in it that radiates the far infrared rays your body's emitting back to the body. We have a far infrared lumbar support cushion that comes with far infrared heat and massage. It can be used in your chair at your desk or in your car, and you can use it on or off. And we have a far infrared heating pad that I love. I use it all the time, and I use it in conjunction with my hothouse. I lie on it while the hothouse is over me, and it really increases my body temperature more and causing me to sweat. And it's great to use on your lower back, your knees, or anywhere you have pain. So I hope this really helps you understand the difference between our dome, sauna, and other infrared products with the silicone crystal lining. And I hope it helps you understand the many benefits of far infrared and why we're seeing so many far infrared products on the market today. Thanks.
I wanted to take a few minutes and talk to you about what to expect when you get your hothouse and how to use the hothouse. So your hothouse is going to arrive in a pretty big box. And when you take everything out, you'll notice that you have 2 extensions, 2 armrests, and the hothouse. And the hothouse has a control box on it. So underneath the control box is the power on and off switch. So you want to turn it on, and the panel will light up and go to 0. And then set the time in 15-minute increments. You can start out using it from 15 to 60 minutes twice a day. I recommend you start out at 15 minutes, see how you do, and make sure that you are hydrated. The extensions are really good. If you want to lay on your side, you can put one here so then you have more space underneath the dome. Or if you want to lay on your stomach or in a different position and you want the extensions or you're a little claustrophobic, it's nice to have them. And then you can also set the hothouse on its side and put the armrests on each side so you can sit down and do your lower back. And you'll notice that the inside of the hothouse has a grate. And this is a protective grate over the silicone crystal lining, so you don't accidentally touch the lining with all the heat you're creating. And it stays nice with its patented technology. You can also purchase, which I highly recommend, hothouse curtains. And these are insulation curtains, and they are magnetic, and they attach to each side of the hothouse. And they're really good at holding in all the far infrared rays and heat that you're generating between your body and the rays, promoting better detoxification through perspiration. So I highly recommend the curtains. I want to show you a little demonstration about resonance absorption. So I'm going to remove the curtains and put the hothouse on its side. And when you get your hothouse, turn it on and let it warm up a couple minutes because it needs to be warm, obviously, for your body to absorb the far infrared rays. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands, palms up, and you're going to line up your wrist lines. Everybody has wrist lines, so just pick your wrist lines and line them up, and then put your hands together, and you'll notice that my left hand, the fingers are shorter than the right hand, and that's usually typical. If you're left-handed, the left hand will be longer than the right. So you want to take the shorter hand, or if your hands are the same length, you can use either hand. So I'm going to use my left hand because it's obviously shorter. And I'm going to slowly rub it back and forth 10 times on the grate. 2. As the far infrared rays are absorbed by my hand. 7, 8, 9, and boy, my hands are getting warm. So then you're going to take your hands, palms up, and line up the wrist lines again and fold them together, and you'll see now my left hand fingertip is longer than my right. So you'll notice that at home too, and that's a resonance absorption of how our body absorbs the far infrared rays into the water molecules, creating energy, producing heat. So the hothouse is really awesome, and I know you're excited to get it. So thanks for listening. I hope you're as excited to get your hothouse as I was to get mine.
The Advanced Electro-Reflex Energizer relieves muscular tension, increases circulation, massages the feet and hands, helping to relieve pain. It's listed as a Class 1 device with the FDA, and it's regulated as a therapeutic massager. Health Canada has approved it as a Class 2 medical device, as a foot massager and electropads that relax and revitalize the whole body, soothing and relieving stressful aches and pains, easing tension, reducing fatigue, and improving local blood circulation. Advanced Electro-Reflex Energizer, reflexology and electrical stimulation, part of the electrical energy making up the SOKI concept. The Advanced ERE is much more than just a foot massager. It utilizes electrical stimulation to stimulate the acupressure points on your feet or hands and is based on reflexology. It comes with 3 sets of electropads so you can target muscle groups or painful areas on the body, and it massages your feet or hands, and you can use the electropads all at the same time. Foot and hand reflexology is massage of the hands or feet based on the belief that pressure applied to specific points on these extremities benefits other parts of the body. For example, if you were to massage the tips of your thumb, you would be benefiting your pituitary gland. If you would massage the heels of your feet, you would be benefiting your pelvic area or sciatic nerve. Benefits of reflexology include relieving the congestion of organs, facilitating the balance of the body, enhancing the capacity of the organs to fight disease, releasing muscular tension and stress, and promoting circulation, which helps the body relax. Dr. Bauer from Mayo Clinic stated that reflexology is generally relaxing and may be an effective way to alleviate stress. He also mentioned that several studies funded by the National Cancer Institute and the National Institutes of Health indicate that reflexology may reduce pain and psychological symptoms, such as anxiety and depression. It may enhance relaxation and sleep. And studies have also been done showing that reflexology may have benefits in palliative care of people with cancer. So reflexology is very beneficial. The other portion, electrical stimulation, is used to stimulate the skin to help relieve pain, because it interferes with the neural transmission of signals from underlying pain receptors. The electrical impulses mimic the action potential coming from the central nervous system, causing the muscles to contract. When a part of our body needs to move, the brain sends electrical signals through the nervous system. The nerves act like little electrical wires, and they relay these signals to our muscles, directing them to contract. This contraction causes our body part to move. A lot of work is being done with electrical stimulation because it activates our nerves, makes our muscles move, and there's theoretic thought that the brain may be able to recapture and relearn this movement once the stimulation stops. Dr. Harvey stated in a Rehab Revolution magazine on an article about stroke that they don't know exactly how the electrical stimulation works, but continually stimulating a muscle can help the muscle relearn to move, and eventually the stimulation goes away. I also wanted to look at electrical stimulation on how it improves nerve regeneration. I wanted to see how electrical stimulation helped for nerve regeneration, and I found a study involving carpal tunnel patients. And these patients had carpal tunnel surgery, and they used low-frequency electrical stimulation. And they found in 6 to 8 months that the regeneration of all medium nerves to reinnervate thinner muscles occurred, where the group that had the surgery and didn't use the low-frequency electrical stimulation, their nerves did not reinnervate in that same time frame. So electrical stimulation is very beneficial for many things. It helps improve circulation, enhances muscle strength and endurance, relieves pain, helps muscles recover from an injury, relieves stress, increases range of motion, and improves the symptoms of small and large fiber diabetic neuropathy, according to several studies done through PubMed. The ERE is an instrument that helps to reconnect broken or damaged electrical circuits within the body by stimulating it with the correct waveform, current, and frequency. When our body experiences pain, there's electrical resistance, meaning the electrical signals between our cells are suppressed. If you continually use electrical stimulation, it can help restore the flow of electricity through these painful areas. You'll see a picture here, and this picture is 2 nerve cells, and the little dots in between them are the electrical signals, and they're communicating. When we have pain, that communication isn't always sent and received properly. And you'll also notice there's a blank space in between the cells, and that's what is known as a synapse. So major benefits of the ERE is it's a great foot massager. It induces deep relaxation, balances the body, reduces stress, relieves pain, revitalizes our energy, improving circulation and reducing fatigue. And it may assist with weight loss because of the continual contraction of the muscle. And you can see you can use it on your feet or your hands. Of course, you can't use it on your feet and hands at the same time. I have a lot of questions about electrical stimulation and parasites, and I think that's because Dr. Hulda Clark has written several books on health and parasites and uses a machine known as a zapper, which emits electrical frequencies and stimulation. Dr. Hulda Clark believes that no matter how long and confusing the list of symptoms are a person has, from chronic fatigue to infertility, she believes that there's only 1 or 2 things wrong with the person. They either have pollutants or toxins or parasites. So I've had a lot of customers tell me who've had problems with parasites that they've received benefits from using the advanced ERE, but I want you to understand that the ERE electrical stimulation doesn't kill the parasite. What it does do, to quote Hulda Clark, is specific electrical frequencies stimulate an altering of the bioresonance in the cells, reversing the change caused by some disease or parasite. Transmitting these frequencies through the same electrodes over a period of time generates healing signals that have a curative effect. So in other words, the frequency wakes up our body's own immune system and cells to heal itself, eliminating the parasites. Many of the customers who have reported benefits using the ERE said they've used the ERE for 21 days, 5 to 10 minutes a day on the auto mode. The ERE comes with a remote, so you can operate it by the remote or by the base of the machine, and the remote is kind of cute. It's shaped like a foot. The machine has 4 modes: a pounding mode, which works the bottom center of the feet and inner calves, focusing on the digestive organs, the chest, waist, and hip area, the sciatic nerve, coccyx, and knee. The massage mode, which focuses on working your toes, also benefits the head area, the brain, ears, eyes, mouth, neck, shoulder, and may help with symptoms of stress, insomnia, and migraine. The relaxation mode, which works the top part of your feet, outer calves, and ankles, benefits the main systems of the body like the circulatory, respiratory, or lymphatic. And it also comes with an auto repeat mode, which simultaneously goes through the pounding, massage, and relaxation mode. I tell people when they start out to start out with the auto mode. I get a lot of questions on how to use the electropads, and I found an article written by a physical therapist who uses electrical stimulation in physical therapy, and he says to find out where your pain's located or a tender area associated with the pain is. And once you locate that area, place a pad at the top of that area where the pain begins and another pad at the bottom of the area. You always want to use 1 set of pads or 2 pads to target an area. And you want to make sure the pads don't touch each other and are at least an inch apart. And you can alter the intensity or the sensation if you change the distance between the pads or the direction of the pads, or you use the control knob on the cable. And it's also best not to apply the pads directly on a joint or above the jawline or on the face. So I hope that this helps you understand the benefits of reflexology and electrical stimulation and how the advanced ERE may be a benefit to you.
Hi everyone, I wanted to talk to you on how to use the Advanced Electro Reflex Energizer because I know those of you who have one of these, love it. And those of you who are getting one will know how to use it when you get it. When you get it and you take it out of the box, you have this machine right here, and everybody's like, where is everything? Everything is located in the back in this awesome little compartment. The remote, the knee belt, the plug-in, the cables, everything's in there. So all you have to do is open that up and unwrap everything. So I've already got this plugged in, so it's ready to turn on. This is what the remote looks like. It's really cute. It's shaped like a foot. And you're going to get 3 sets of electrode pads. Each package has 2 pads in them. And then you're going to get 3 sets of cables with the plug-in to the machine, which is located on the side right here. And then the other end snaps onto the pads. And then it has a control knob for each cable. And you want to make sure that that's turned all the way off. And that would be turning it counterclockwise. So one of the biggest questions I get is how to use the ERE, because it has several steps in setting it up. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn it on. And you're going to notice when you turn it on, everything lights up and it beeps. And then everything goes dark. So the first thing that you need to set is the function. So you need to determine, do you want to use it on your hands or your feet? Do you want to use it on your hands or your feet and the pads? Or do you just want to use the pads? So I'm going to set it for my feet, so I'm going to do my hands. So here's the foot mode. Then I'm going to set the mode for massage, relax, pounding, or auto. And I recommend everybody start on the automatic mode for 15 minutes. So I've got it on foot for the function. I'm going to the mode for auto. Then I'm going to come over to this side and set the time for 15 minutes. And then, even though this indicator panel is lit, it's not actually on until I set the intensity. So you want to hit the greater than button until you see 2 yellow lights coming on. And then you have to place both your feet or both your hands on the pad for it to work. If you just put one hand on there, you won't feel it. Now, a lot of people have dry skin, especially on their feet or their hands. So I recommend, if you're not feeling something, to take a paper towel and spritz it with a spray bottle, so it's just slightly damp, and place it on each foot pad. And then place your feet or hands on it, and you'll definitely feel the conductivity. I think you can see that the muscles in my arms are contracting from the intensity, so maybe it's a little too high for me for my arms. So I'm going to hit the less than button and put it down to just the 4 greens and put my arms back on it. So that's how to use the ERE. Remember the function, the mode, the time, and then the intensity with the greater than arrow to set the machine so it's ready to use. Enjoy it. It's awesome.
The e-Power machine increases energy, enhances circulation, relieves pain, and I feel it benefits the whole body. It's listed as a Class 1 device with the FDA and regulated as a therapeutic massager. Health Canada has approved it as a Class 2 medical device that enhances blood circulation, elevates the skin temperature, helps relieve muscular pain, cramps, spasm, and tension, and helps to relieve symptoms of arthritis, insomnia, and arthrodynia. e-Power is another portion of electrical energy in the SOKI concept. It truly is a technological breakthrough in electronic healthcare products. It's the only product on the market that utilizes negative potential energy, or the energy the body needs for rest, along with high frequency, low voltage energy, which helps the body produce energy. So, are your cells all charged up? I think everybody's charged up, but we're probably not charged up how we need to be. Our body has 60 trillion cells, and each cell in our body has about 50 or more microvolts. If you multiply that, that's a huge number. In fact, I don't even know what that number is to have a body fully charged. The electrical potential of the cell membrane varies. When we're children, it's approximately 70 to 90 millivolts. That's why when you're with your grandkids or nieces or nephews and you're ready to take a nap at 3 o'clock. When you get older and sick and tired, you've had disease and you've healed and you're not feeling well and you're stressed, they tend to be lower, around 60 millivolts. And when you become senior citizens, they're lower than 60. And of course, if you unfortunately have a full-blown disease, your voltage drops down way into the teens. We hear a lot about negative potential energy, so what is it and why is it important? First off, we're electrical beings. When you hear someone talk about the negative electric potential, they're referring to the internal negative charge of our cells. All healthy cells continually strive to maintain an internal negative charge within their cell membrane. The internal negative charge is necessary for nutrients to come into the cell and toxins and waste to get out of the cell. Without this internal negative charge, cellular function is diminished, creating an opportunity for disease to set in. The internal negative charge is mainly maintained by the exchange of sodium and potassium from inside the cell to outside the cell. This exchange continually takes place. What is ATP, or how our body gets energy? Well, that's what it is. It's the energy-carrying molecules found in the cells of all living things. It's found in the mitochondria of our cells, and in each of our cells there are 500 to 2,000 little factories known as mitochondria, and it's these factories that produce one product, and that product's ATP. ATP is the energy used by our body that allows reactions to occur within our metabolism. Examples would be muscle contractions, the transmission of nerve impulses, the ability of things to come in the cell membrane and go out of the cell membrane. ATP is our body's preference for energy over fat, and it's what transports the chemical energies within our cells for our metabolism. It's essential to function. It's the energy needed to maintain the internal negative charge of our cells. So why is negative potential so important? Well, negative potential is important because it balances our cells, and when our cells are balanced, we can take in nutrients and we can get rid of wastes. All cells have what's known as a resting potential, and a resting potential is an electrical charge across the plasma membrane, where the interior of the cell has a negative charge compared to the charge on the cell's exterior. The size of the resting potential of a cell varies. However, in cells that can create an electrical current, it runs about 70 millivolts. Harmful positive potential energy is caused by aging, because as we age, we lose energy. When we get sick, our cells lack in some functions. If we have a poor diet, our diet lacks in enzymes. And we're exposed to cell phones and other communication devices, computers, high-frequency areas, electrical appliance. All of these things create positive potential energy for our body. So why is that so harmful? Well, positive potential energy imbalances our cells. And when our cells are imbalanced, it's hard for nutrients to get in and waste to get out. And a major function of our cell membrane is to control what gets in and what gets out from diffusing across the membrane. Diffusion across the membrane can be active or passive depending on the molecules being diffused. The imbalance of polarity, or a low electric potential of the cell membrane, interrupts the active and passive diffusion process. This can result in cellular respiration not taking place, which can increase stress, weakening our immune system. So, how can e-Power help you? Well, e-Power uses our body as a capacitor to create an internal energy that balances and revitalizes us. It utilizes negative potential high-frequency energy, and I call it the body's battery charger. So how does the e-Power work? Its high-frequency waves, approximately 70 kilohertz, create a massaging action that increases the temperature of our subcutaneous skin, allowing for the negative potential energy to spread throughout our body. This negative potential energy balances the positively charged ions and negatively charged ions on both sides of the cell membrane. And this balance promotes a faster metabolism that stimulates the cells. It can help reactivate the enzymes of ATP. And when our enzymes are reactivated, such as in the intestines, it prevents the loss of nutrients that our body needs to function. So what exactly does the e-Power do? Well, it balances the energy of the body. It improves oxygen, blood circulation, balances the nervous system, helps the body detoxify, supports the performance of the immune system, improves our skin because it stimulates the fibroblasts, assists in weight loss, reduces stress, and can help to balance our pH. Examples of difference between positive and negative potential energy and its effect on the body is outlined in the next two slides. If you have too much positive field action, your bone fractures may not heal. Your hormones could get out of balance. If you have too much positive field action, you could have stress, insomnia, or depression, where if you have negative field action, you may feel calm, relaxed, or have really good sleep. Research has been done with the e-Power, and 30 people with insomnia, arthrodynia, and rheumatoid arthritis used the e-Power twice a day for 30 days, and each person used the machine 30 to 90 minutes a day based on their overall tolerance and health. The 30 people with insomnia stated after 30 days, 16.7% of them said they showed improvement. 70% said their symptoms were basically gone. The 30 people with arthrodynia, which is pain in a joint not related to a disease such as arthritis, 20% showed improvement and 70% said their symptoms or painful joints were basically gone. The 30 individuals with rheumatoid arthritis, 33.3% showed improvement in their symptoms and 60% said their symptoms were basically gone. I think that is phenomenal. Could you imagine not being able to sleep and the e-Power helping you sleep, or having so much pain in your joints and the e-Power helping you relieve that pain? That's amazing. I feel the e-Power supports the whole body. I think it benefits the circulatory system because it improves our circulation, expanding our capillaries, allowing our body to receive more oxygen. I think it helps our nervous system because it's a form of electrotherapy, which helps to interrupt the pain signal transmissions, which can help relieve muscle spasms and tension. I think it aids the digestive system by improving our nutrient supply and utilization because our circulation's better. It also helps activate the enzyme in our digestive system that keeps our body alkaline, so it can help people balance their pH. It helps our bowel by increasing digestion activity, improving the function of our stomach and intestines. It helps our skeletal system due to the piezoelectric effect or the negative field action. It helps to increase bone tissue, which helps to eliminate osteoporosis. It also helps in weight loss because it improves digestion and metabolism, which can help your body improve muscle mass. It supports the immune system because it can activate the macrophage, which helps with cellular stress. And it helps improve our skin because it stimulates the fibroblasts, increasing activity of connective tissue and promoting skin regeneration. Improving your skin with e-Power occurs because the electrical wave of the high frequency massages our cells 70,000 times per second, which helps our skin recover its elasticity. The negative potential of e-Power helps balance the blood pH and accelerates the process of detoxification, which helps our skin look and feel healthy. The supply of negative ions can help reduce the negative effects of aging on the skin because it can improve the skin metabolism, reserving oxygen, so the appearance of small lines and age spots can be reduced. Here's a woman who used the e-Power and took before and after photos of her skin, and you can see there's a lot of fat reduction in her cheeks and again under her chin. So I ask you, do you think you need to be recharged with everything that's going on around us every day? The e-Power comes with an indicator pen, and the indicator pen helps you determine that the e-Power is working. So when you get the e-Power, if you Take out the indicator pen and hold it about a foot out from you. It should light up, letting you know that the e-power is on and working and conducting. And it's also used to help you maintain a good energy flow throughout your body and to focus the energy to a specific area, such as a knee or your face when using a facial mask. We also have an accessory called the Energy Wand, which was designed specifically to be used with the e-power machine. And it's used to stimulate the meridians of the body, allowing the chi energy flow along the meridians in our body. It's believed that anything that disrupts the flow of chi can cause illness, and the energy wand in conjunction with the e-power acts as a conductor of the e-power's negative ions or potential energy, assisting in opening up the chi pathways. I hope that helps you understand the benefits of negative potential, high frequency, low voltage energy and the many benefits of the e-power.
Hello, I'm really excited to talk to you on how to use the e-power. And before I get into how to use the e-power, I'm just going to tell you, when you get the e-power, you're going to get a machine, a power cord. It comes with one belt. You do have the option to purchase a second belt, so two people can use it at the same time, and I highly recommend doing that when you order the e-power. You get the second belt for less money when you first order. And it also comes with an indicator pen. There's a few things before we start its operation I just want to let you know. You want to make sure that you're not operating any electrical devices. Don't be talking on your cell phone, working at the computer, touching the remote for the TV, because negative ions are coming in your body and you're going to, cause maybe an electrical malfunction. You can turn the TV off or on or that kind of thing. You also want to make sure that you're not wearing a bunch of metal. It's not going to hurt you if you have metal on, like my glasses or my wedding ring. But you don't want a bunch of metal on, because where you have the metal, it's going to block the flow of the negative ions. So when you get your machine and you get it out of the box, you want to make sure that you put the belt on the proper way. So the negative ions actually come out through where the Velcro is in the belt. So you want to make sure that the Velcro is on the outside and that the buckle is on your right side by your hip facing down, and you just put the belt on and you're good to go. You also want to make sure that your feet are off the floor and this is off the floor so it's not interfering with any other grounds. And then you just simply turn the machine on and you're going to set the time for 30 minutes. I highly recommend everybody start 30 minutes on low. This is a huge detoxifier and you want to make sure your colon stays rolling. And then you want to set low, medium, or high. So we're going to start out on low. And then you're going to hit play. If the phone rings or something happens and you want to get up in the middle of it, just hit pause. Okay? You're going to hit pause, unplug your belt, go do what you need to do, then come, plug your belt back in and hit play. So it's on. Do you feel anything? Most people don't. You may feel a slight warm sensation through your skin, but most people don't feel anything. It is working. And how you can tell it's working is the indicator pen. And if you pick up the indicator pen and you hold it about a foot out from you, you'll notice that the light's on. And that shows you that the e-power in your body is absorbing the negative ion. So it's an awesome machine and it can do many things. You can also use the indicator pen if you have an area that hurts. Let's say my elbow hurts. You can take the indicator pen and do circles around that area, drawing the energy to that area to help with some pain relief or focusing the energy to that area. You can also use the indicator pen on your face as done in my facial video. And stay tuned for my energy wand video coming soon. So I hope this helps you in wanting to know how to use the e-power. It's an awesome machine. I think it's one of our most powerful machines. And it's the only machine on the market that has negative ions, high frequency, low voltage. It's awesome. Hello everyone, I can't finish without sharing the Soaky bed with you. This is my Soaky bed. I call it the cat's meow. I'm fortunate to be able to use it every morning when I get up. So I wanted to go over its features and show you what it looks like. So it comes with 3 hothouses, and each hothouse has a thermal strip on it where the hothouses connect, and it comes with a set of curtains for the beginning and end of the hothouses. It comes with the chi machine, the bed, the skirting, the sound and the MP3 stick and player, central control, and the pillow. So I'm going to turn it on. It's really easy to operate. It takes about an hour and a half to set up. The instructions are really good. So here's the control panel. And I purchased a fur pad, so I have far infrared underneath me as well as on top of me, and I really get hot and put up a good sweat. So you set each individual hothouse just by pressing the buttons. And then there's the on and off switch. You set the chi machine. You turn your fur pad on. Turn the music on. I wanted you to hear the music, so let's give it a minute. Really nice and relaxing. This comes with the Soaky bed. And then you just position yourself on the chi machine. You sit down and lie down. And then once you sit down and you position yourself on the chi machine, it's very easy as you're sitting up and as you lie down to just close yourself into the hothouses and adjust your pillow. Sam and I forget how tall we are. I know it's hard for you all to know how tall we are, but I'm almost 6 feet. My husband Sam is 6'5". So these are big, plenty long for the average person. Then I just lay here for about 30 minutes every morning and enjoy. Thanks.